So this lender may not even know that. This has been a very, very eventful time since we were last here. You know that the FOMC met and announced quite astonishingly, Bernanke said he's going to keep buying mortgage-backed securities until the pain goes away, until employment improves. This is quite astonishing for a central banker to do, sort of unlimited support, QE, for the market going forward. In retrospect, we can see how he was preparing the market for that in some of the comments he made at Jackson Hole and so forth. But it's still astonishing, particularly coming on the heels. So in 1 week, we have Mario Draghi at the ECB saying he'll do whatever's necessary, and Bernanke saying he'll do whatever's necessary. So the central bankers are determined that they are going to use their balance sheets to keep anything particularly bad from happening in the economy. We'll be discussing a lot in this class about exactly what is the mechanism through which that's supposed to be working. One of the interesting things in today's FT is an op-ed by one of my favorite columnists, Wolfgang Munchau, why QE would be the right policy for Europe too, he says here. It made me aware of some features of the ECB's announcement that I had not been aware of before. I guess this is probably because of the different political situation in Europe and the limitations on Draghi. It turns out that Mario Draghi said that he would buy bonds of Spain and Italy if they asked him to. Okay, so they have to ask him to do this. And that is, Wolfgang is saying that may be a problem for a leader of a country to say, oh, I'm in bad trouble, please buy my bonds, is a concern. Whereas if he had made a unilateral announcement that he was going to buy them, okay, that would be another thing. That's basically what Bernanke has done. Bernanke has said, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to wait for anybody else to ask me. I'm just going to do it. And so Wolfgang Munchau says that would have been the right policy for Europe too. He's a little concerned that if Spain and Italy don't ask, why should the price of these bonds move? If the ECB doesn't actually do anything, is it just expectations? Are we trying to change people's feelings or something like that? And he wants to emphasize, and I definitely endorse him, that is a weak read to depend upon. Okay, expectations. I know economists talk a lot about influencing expectations, but in this course we're going to look at what the Fed actually does and what the ECB actually does. What we will be thinking of both of these QE. Both Bernanke and Draghi we will in this course, we don't quite have the apparatus yet to talk about it that way, but I will be referring to these actions as dealer of last resort actions, in the sense that they are promising to buy these bonds at a particular price, and as a consequence, no one is ever going to buy them for less. Okay, and by buying them at a high price, they lower the yield on them. They lower the interest rate on Spanish bonds. They lower the interest rate on Italian bonds. In order to make this go, this has to be a credible promise to buy, meaning they actually have to buy. Okay, and Bernanke is going to be buying, and you will not expect to see the market any different than that will immediately move the price to where what Bernanke is paying. The question is, if Spain and Italy don't ask Draghi to buy, will the price move to what Draghi said it should be or not? Okay, and I think we will see that it won't. It won't move there until Draghi actually is buying, and it will probably be somewhat lower. The yields will be somewhat higher. The market reacted immediately, very optimistically, thinking he was going to be buying, but apparently there's this political obstacle in the way. These are very new kinds of actions. I just want to underline that. You're going to have a very interesting semester here. Central banks are doing things they've never done before, they're being very bold. They're being very bold, let's be clear, because the fiscal authorities are not being very bold. Okay, the fiscal authorities are all caught up in politics and saying we have to have austerity, we have to blame Greece or something. And the same is in the US, okay? The Republicans and the Democrats can't get together on anything. And so the central banks are trying to hold the system together. They're trying to hold the system together through election cycle until possibly the fiscal authorities will be able to sort things out. This is not a job that any central banker ever signed up for. That's not really what they want to be doing, okay? But they are doing it. And that's why I say we're in uncharted territory this semester. So stay tuned.